Hi. School started back up today because spring break was last week, and I read 2 books in 24 hours, as opposed to anything else. I already talked about Must Ardently, was the first one I read, and now I'm going to talk about the spells we cast. I started it at like 2 a.m., and I didn't want to go to bed. I was like about to pass out when I had to put it down, because I was like, I want to keep reading, but I'm so tired. Anyway, all I can say is, I can't believe I did this shit again. This shit being reading part 1 of a duology that I knew was part 1 of a duology when the second book isn't out yet. Sunbear Trials is what I'm talking about. However, I am glad that there's only 6 months to wait for the sequel rather than 2 years. But I want the sequel now. I love these shitheads so much. Also, I just want to say, Orion's entire family, like, being named after constellations is the best thing ever. Who would have thought? My name is Comet, and this was my first tattoo, was the constellation off Eucus, and I love that Orion, his sister, and his mom were all named after constellations. Orion, Cassiopeia, and Lyra. Like, that's the best thing ever. On another note, this is the first time I've read a published book with the soulmate trope in it. Not gonna lie, there's a lot of things that I avoid that I love in fanfiction. The soulmate trope is one that I've never been too certain about. I know that some people love it in fanfiction and some people hate it in published media. I've never tried to read it in published media, so this was a good intro to it. Also, the fact that it was something that made them just, like, more powerful, that was totally sick. Like, a thing that they added to it, though, that I liked was the fact that the bond that they had was something that they could, like, form with other people that you love. It didn't have to be a romantic thing. Thank you for adding that bit! As an aromantic person, thank you for adding that bit! I just kind of wish that it was like, this can happen with family, and it can happen with, a romantic partner. I don't know if they didn't do this, or if I just missed it, but it would also have been nice to have the mention of, yes, you can also form this bond with a platonic partner. That would have been a nice addition. Speaking as the person writing a work in progress about a soulmate story centered around platonic soulmates, I could have missed it, though, so, if it was in there, my bad. Also, I'm a little ashamed to admit, when I picked up this book, I mainly, the main thing that drew me to the cover was, that looks like Nico and Will. How would you pronounce his name? Ori or Ori? Because it's Orion, I would say Ori, but I feel like it would be Ori? I don't know. I'm gonna say Ori until I'm corrected. Having Ori get, powers from, action figures didn't help the case. And then a dead sister. I was like, you're Nico D'Angelo. He's not. He's his own person. This is Orion. He's not Nico D'Angelo. I'm just mentally ill, if you weren't aware. On another note, I have a habit of predicting plot twists, especially, betrayals. I predicted Zio's betrayal in Sunbear Trials. This one kind of surprised me. A little more than Zio, but with Zio, I didn't want to be right. I was like, I think I know, but I didn't want to be right. This one, I was like, there was something off about this dude. But I wasn't expecting him to kill Nigel's grandma. Also, again, they're so dumb. And I love them so much. I took a little video when I was on, I think it was page, 263 or something. And Instagram deleted it, and I'm pissed about it, because it just perfectly summed up how I felt throughout most of this book, where I essentially said, there is 80 pages left in this book, and all I want is for these 2 idiots to kiss. Oh no, they summoned this really powerful creature who, the knife, who Nigel's grandpa gave his life to take out. Well, guess that means that we should not combine our magic anymore because it led to this. Dog. Also, Bex. Bex is the best character in this whole book. That's it. Goblin descent. So real. I love her. Anyway, all I want is to know peace, but I will never know peace until I can finish this fucking series. And I can't do that until October. So thanks for that. This is to say I really loved the book, and I don't know what to do with myself now that I'm waiting for the sequel.